the air deflectors you see to a lot of teams. Jason Galvin, did you have something you want to get in on? Go ahead.
I was just going to tell you, Joe, that by my count, here are the only two cars that are not running them this round. And it's Brittany and Shawn, which I don't think is much of a surprise because those have been the two cars kind of leading the charge of anti-air deflectors.
So this is very interesting, and I want to bring it up because it's now a tuning tool. It is becoming a tuning tool, and here in conditions like this, you might want that extra downforce. But I had do a podcast during the week called WFO Radio. It is a live stream. Many people know about it. But at this moment, I had the Goodyear guys on to talk a little bit about it, and they talked about how they're learning so much. But in the end, it really, to not have those air deflectors on, it lowers the tire temperature considerably. And maybe it's because there's more air on the tires, or maybe because there's less downforce on the tires and drag. But it has been a less tire temperature, which should mean a longer-lasting, safer tire. And so they're learning through this 4-week process, and obviously they're going to get together with the NHRA. But what they did say was that they believe that the teams that are diving in on it are going to be further along later on in the year, and of course that makes sense.
Yeah, of course it makes sense. I think, it's a new thing for these top fuel cars, a new wrinkle that they can play with, and obviously these crew chiefs are playing with it. They're playing with the ideas of having them on or taking them off, and but you guys are right. Brittany Force and Shawn Langdon, two of the cars that have been committed to the no mud flaps. And let's talk about Brittany Force with no mud flaps in Pomona. Back-to-back 364s, 300 miles per hour to the 8th both times. That kind of car performance, we haven't seen it in drag racing, in top fuel drag racing, and we're seeing it now without the air deflectors on it. So it's a new age of drag racing, for sure, Joe.
Well, I love the fact you can see it. For all you race fans out there, you can look down at the two Kalitta Motorsports cars. Alan Johnson tuning Doug, the defending race winners machine, in lane number 3, and Shawn Langdon over there in lane number 4, and they have different setups going on. Doug's got them, Shawn doesn't. In lane number 1, your world champ, in lane number 2, your world champ, Antron Brown, and of course Brittany, we've already mentioned. Your final quad,
yes,
and we get ready. Brittany Force, Antron Brown, Doug Kalitta, Shawn Langdon. When it comes to drag racing, it doesn't get better than this. Deflectors and no deflectors, you got a little of everything in this quad. Yeah, nobody got down. There was no right answer to that question. 4.084 for Doug Kalitta, your defending race winner. 484.6, 152 for Shawn Langdon. Antron with a 462.8, going to put him 5th overall, and Brittany with a 672.5 at just 89 miles per hour. As they'll go back, they'll look at the data, they'll come back up, and we'll do it all again.
Yeah, very tough session. Steve Torrance, number 1, 384 at 320, best performance of anybody by far. So speaking of that, Steve Torrance, number 1 at 384. Sean Reed, number 2 with a 395.3. Justin Ashley, number 3. Doug Kalitta, 4. Antron Brown, 5. At 6, Tony Stewart. Rob Passy, number 7.
How about Rob?
And Clay Milliken, number 8.
Langdon, Palmer, Brittany, Jasmine, and Josh Hart rounding out the field in top fuel. How about that?